Good evening and welcome everybody to the regular Gilbert City Council meeting of March 10th, 2026. I call the meeting to order now at 6:10. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilor Patrick.
Present.
Councilor Gilbert.
Here.
Councilor Westcott.
Here.
Councilor Biden. Here. Mayor Rutherford.
Here. All right, we have a quorum. We can have a meeting. Would everybody rise and help me open with the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Council, I have some additions to the agenda, and clerk, correct me if I'm wrong. I'll read them off to what I have. Under old business, under G, we'll take number 5 from the working session. And under old business, under H, we'll take number 6 from the working session. And under I, under old business, we'll take number 3 from the working session. And under new business, under F, we'll take number 7 from the working session. I gotta find my... So is there anything else? Oh, somebody said, I think there was set the dates for spring cleanup or something?
Yeah, Marion said that. Marion mentioned that we could set those dates.
Okay, under G, under new business, set the dates for working spring cleanup. All right, that's my additions to the agenda. We got 5 anymore.
We'll go ahead and move to approve the agenda with the additions.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Skirvik, supported by Councilor Potocznik to add the agenda, additions to the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. All right, we have a consent agenda to approve February 24th regular meeting and February 24th working session, and the Gilbert Library minutes of February 2nd. Anybody want to move to approve the consent agenda?
I actually have a question on the library board minutes, and I'm not sure if we can get an answer on it. I noted that in old business there was a discussion about the close of the foundation. I don't know if anybody knows any more details on what that means.
Yes, I'm a member of the foundation. We have 4 members in that foundation, and it's been up and operating since 1991, 1992, and I've been president of that foundation since 1992 to 2012, 20 years, and I just come back within the last couple of years now. But our foundation of 4 members is just pooped out, tired. We don't feel that we can't do any more raising that we're doing, raising money. So we already about 10 years ago, we gave the Gifford Fund over to the library board. We gave the Russo Fund over to the library board, and now we're giving the Gilbert Foundation monies over to the library board. as well, and that's all through the Minnesota Foundation in St. Paul. So we are closing our books on that.
So then, what does that potentially mean, longer-term implications to the funding of the library?
Nothing. Everything will stay the same. They'll get the interest off the Gifford Fund, they'll get the interest off the Roosevelt Fund, and they'll get the interest off the Gilbert Foundation Fund. 3 different funds. And they can still add to these funds, you know. But as far as having meetings and spaghetti feeds and all that other kind of, that won't be happening anymore.
Okay. So it's a management issue. The second question that I had on here was the bullet point towards the end, where there was an idea of possibly adding a day or 2 of bereavement leave if traveling over 200 miles. My question is, who governs the benefits of library employees? Who gets to make that decision? Is that a library board decision, or is that a council decision?
Library board. We just handle the money at the end.
Okay. That's all I have.
Any more discussion? Can we have all these mics on, if that's okay, or no?
Yeah, you can have them on.
Okay. We got a new mic system, so hopefully it'll all work here. A few more things to do up above here, but should be better than it was. All right.
I'll go ahead and move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Councillor Skirvik, supported by Councillor Vrtajnik to approve the consent agenda. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. All abstain. Motion carries, because I was not here at that last meeting. Abstain, the motion approved by Councillor Ponton, Skirvik, Redepinning, and Vrtajnik. Mayor Oberstar abstaining, because I was absent last meeting. 4 to 0 to abstain, okay? All right. Public input, does anybody in the audience have anything to talk to the council about other than what's on the agenda? Seeing none, and knowing that particular gentleman has a tight schedule, I'm going to ask Mr. Matt Heedy here to come up here and tell us about your scholarship raffle you want us to approve here under new business number D.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Matt Heedy. This is a scholarship fund that we started when my brother passed away in 2021. We give away a $5,000 scholarship to an outgoing senior from Rockridge High School each year, and we also give a $5,000 scholarship to a diesel mechanic that's only a 1-year program now in Hibbing, so it's a first-year diesel mechanic up in Hibbing. My brother's a diesel mechanic. He graduated from Gilbert, so we split it that way. It's a 200-ticket raffle that we're hoping to hold at the Alibi we have the past 2 or 3 years, and that raises the money for the scholarships. So 200 tickets, $100 a piece. It'll be on Labor Day this year. It coincides with the Labor Day Memorial Run that we have on my brother's in memoriam of him. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, is there the license been approved by state yet or no?
Marion, do we have to send that in?
Yes, we have them signed by us first, and then we send it.
So you want approval from us, and then we sign it and we send it in, correct?
I send it in. I'm just looking for council approval to be able to hold the raffle on Labor Day.
And we've done this before.
We have?
Yep.
I'll make that motion to allow the raffle.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councillor Ponton and supported by Councillor Redepinning to approve the permit request or application for a raffle, correct?
Correct.
By Mr. Matt Heady. And there's any other names that we need on this thing?
The foundation's name's Frankie's Fund, if that is any help to you. But
Yeah, Frankie's Fund, the scholarship raffle. All right. Any more discussion by the council? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
thank you.
Approved, 5-0. You're welcome. Want your mic on? Okay. I'll leave it on. Oh, I got so much stuff here. All right. Reports by mayor and council. Councillor Bertochnik.
Nothing at this time.
Councillor Redepinning.
Nothing at this time.
Councillor Skirbick.
Just two things. One, to let the public know that thank you to Marion and to Lynn for looking into the garbage bag situation with Circle K. That has been resolved. And my understanding is that citizens can purchase the bags at Circle K for the same price that they purchased them at City Hall. So again, thank you for your work on that. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate it. The other one is, so working back and forth with Lynn, it's getting close to the time of the year where we post for municipal elections. And we have discovered that there is a potential error in the charter that was just approved. And so by my read of the state law, we published the timeline for special elections rather than the timeline for normal standard municipal elections as the time window in which you could apply. So we are going to be discussing with the city attorney what we can do to rectify that. In the past, it was basically the month of May for filings. So we don't have much time to clarify that. I'm not sure if there's a council action that has to be made or if it could just be done on state statute. But we are looking into that and we will clarify that in time for filing.
All right, thank you. Councillor Ponton.
I don't have anything tonight.
All right, thank you. I have a few items to report to the public and the council. I met with a new developer that wants to develop some property in Gilbert. The property in discussion was the new property the city of Gilbert obtained a couple years ago. Parts of that property, not all the 8 acres, but between the Rock and Pines and the parking lots in that area, and the Gillespie area. I know the Schweiger developer, Zenith Properties, also was interested in the Gillespie area all the way to the pit. He offered the city of Gilbert $300,000 for that property, which I hope we can get our Mr. Hale from Northern on board to help us with that development. So we have two developers trying to develop some property in Gilbert, and housing is their game here. Also, I've been informed that the school property deal fell through with the first bidder that they approved. And so I informed that to the other developer that was interested in the school property. So hopefully that is going to be moving in the right direction for the Zenith property developer to obtain the school property. which he offered Gilbert $50,000 for that parking lot, which may change and swap up for the school property. But he is still interested in Anthem Building, and I want to report to the Anthem Building. I talked to IRRR. The Anthem Building will be closed officially on July 1st. IRRB owns the building, and they are not going to use it as an incubator anymore. They will be putting that up for market for sale as of July 1st. So they are moving equipment out of there right now. I can see that today. The other tenant, Anthem. So they're still there till June 30th, so half a year. And then it'll be up for sale. And I know the Zenith Properties developer, they were interested in that property as well. So we have some developers, I'm trying to say everybody, that are interested in some property in Gilbert. They've offered us for Lake Orbegon $300,000 for that property. Parking lot $50,000, and this other gentleman, he's supposed to get back to me so I could bring him in front of the council. And it's been a couple weeks, I haven't heard from him. He was dealing with Edina Realty, and hopefully he comes back, because we had a good 2-hour session, and he was very interested. With a motel, we talked about motel in the Gillespie area, and then housing over there in that other piece of property. So that's on the agenda. That's good news. I should say that before he came to see Gilbert, he did talk to Evelyn, so hopefully he'll pick Gilbert. Also, I have phone call from Mr. Slavich. He donated some lights to Gilbert from the school, the old school building, and he was wondering what's happening with that. What are we're still sitting on, where are we going to put that? And he offered, said, if we put it on, he'd do the labor if the city crew could dig the hole and do the wiring, but he'd do the cement work and for the bases of these fixtures. And except for digging the hole and everything else and the wiring, he wouldn't do that either, but the rest he would do for nothing, the labor. And hopefully the city would pick in front of City Hall was his preferences. So I don't know what the council, whatever happened to that idea. Any thoughts?
I'm not sure, what lights are we talking
Well, there
about?
was some in front of the elementary. There was in the entranceway was two was bulbs, different 1920 bulbs on these fixtures that we all looked at for 100 years. And he bought them, and he donated them to the city, and he wanted to put them outside in front of the corners of the city hall out here. And if we dug the hole, he'd do the cement work for the bases to sit on, and then we would just have to dig the hole and get the wiring done.
My recollection was that we had originally looked at that when we were looking at the cement work in front of the police department and the fire department, and we had decided to split that off as a separate project. So that would have been last summer, July-ish, I think.
It's been a while. I don't know what's going on.
And then I don't believe that we ever really looked at what the options are. I think there'd potentially be a couple of good locations for them. I think City Hall would be one of them. I think in front of the gazebo would potentially be another. In front of the community center would also be another. But the problem is we have to run the electrical first, which would have to be up in the base. And then we'd have to have a strong enough base to hold them, because my guess, those things are not, they're not light. They're brass or cast iron or something. I mean, they're not light material. So we have to have a base that would be substantial enough to hold them. So I think we need to have, if we want to move forward with it, we're going to have some bids and find what locations we would put it at.
Can I ask the council to look at this within the next 2 weeks and bring it up again next meeting so we can get it done? So,
I mean, aside from the 3 locations that I mentioned, are there any other obvious places where we would put them?
How many lights do we have?
2.
My understanding is there's 2, because they're the ones that were on either side of the main entrance doors at Nelsheen.
Oh, let's move it forward. Everybody look at it. Look at the lights. Sam's got the lights somewhere. Take a look and then let's bring this back up next meeting or meeting after, something like that, okay?
Yeah, can we bring this up at the next meeting?
Yeah.
I think that's from now till then.
Yeah, right,
See if we can find a spot for it and then.
right. Okay?
Yeah.
Sound good? I'm okay with that. All right. That's all I got on my agenda here. Move on to Fire Chief is here today. Fire Chief Mark.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Just kind of wanted to give you a quick update, and then we're sitting at 17 calls for the year so far, still at 19 members, no new applications. Training has been going good. One training I want to bring up, we're going to do an extra training this weekend. I'm sure you guys are aware of the under ice scuba this weekend. I got a big crowd coming down there, and we're going to do standby for any rescue, along with Virginia Ambulance is going to bring an ambulance over just in case. So we got that going. We're going to have a bigger event here in April on auto extrication, working with Evelyn and Fail. They got reps coming in to bring all these tools and stuff, because Evelyn does auto X right now, so they're going to bring that and just try it out. So we're going to have 3 cars, and we're hoping to have it in Gilbert. Talk to Sammy, maybe down by in that dirt lot there where the plows are, but it'll be after the snow melts. So it's going to be a good training. Unfortunately, we have to use them tools quite a bit. We have 135 coming and 37, along with 53 if we get called with Evelyn and stuff. So it's always good training, and we don't do it in Gilbert, but on mutual aid, like if Virginia comes in on 135, we help them, and we need to know how to use them tools. So we're glad that they want to bring that and include us in on that. So that's a couple of the trainings we're doing. One other thing I wanted to bring up, I know I didn't put it on the agenda, and I apologize. It won't happen anymore. My job has switched, so I will no longer be traveling, so I'll be home all the time, be able to attend regularly. But we're looking, last year we bought them air packs, and we bought the less expensive ones, obviously the price factor, and these ones do not have a buddy breathing system. So if someone runs out of air or has a malfunction inside of a structure fire, their mask freezes up. What a buddy thing is hooks on to the back of the pack, and we can hook in, and 2 people can suck air out of the same bottle. So and we don't have the capability of putting them on there, but we do have a capability of buying what's called a RIT pack, Rapid Intervention, which we do at every fire. If we always have a team at ready to go in case there's mayday, someone goes down or something. So that's $11,585, and the Relief Association would like to donate that amount to the city of Gilbert, and then turn around and we'd like to make that purchase. But I think we need to do a resolution to donate that money to the city first. Is that correct?
Yeah.
because I know we don't have that money in our budget. Our budget's all, everything is taken for the year on all this other stuff that's OSHA mandated, so.
What are you asking for?
For you guys to do a resolution on a donation from the Gilbert Relief Association for $11,585.
Does it have to be, I don't think it can be done today. We have to get.
No, yeah, you have to, I just want to bring it forward to you right now and give you what we would like to do.
Okay.
And then my question is, so if we do that resolution, will we potentially at the same meeting have the information for the purchase as well? So
Yeah.
it'd be
Yeah,
the
I
easiest
have
for
it
us
here,
to
yeah.
do the same,
Yep,
take the
correct,
resolution
yeah.
for the donation and then the expense.
Okay.
That way we don't have it held over from meeting to meeting. It just makes it easier.
Okay, and I'll have that to you this week, so I just
Sounds good.
wanted to kind of explain it since I was here tonight, so. Any other questions for me pertaining to the fire department?
I have none. Anybody? Also?
Do you have any issues, since we've done an inventory of IT stuff, do you have any outstanding issues with our IT services? And if you do, can you connect with our gentleman on the far side?
Councilor
We wanna make sure-
Potachnik stopped in our last meeting night and we had a conversation on that, so yes, I appreciate that. So far, we've been all right, so I have to reset them that I am responding, once a week probably when we get a glitch, but other than that,
Okay.
we've been good.
Good.
So, if anyone has a question, I know there's been some questions asked of other firefighters from other towns. My phone is always on. I'm willing to answer anything. There's nothing to hide over there, so please give me a call and I'll explain everything that's going on in the fire department. I try to do it here at the council, but any questions on equipment or any of that kind of stuff, my phone's always on, so. All right. If nothing else, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing, sorry. Last time I was here, when we were talking, when I asked permission to sell them old bottles and then throw away the other ones, our city attorney said he was going to write something up. Have you seen anything on that yet?
I followed up with them for the last week and reminded them that he's supposed to make a resolution.
Oh, okay. All right, and once I have that, then I can put them up for,
If you want to hang out for a little bit, he is on his way. He's caught up in another legal issue over in Virginia, but he will be here tonight.
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Police chief, Ty teacher.
Give him a mic.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. The only thing I have this evening is, it's not on the agenda, however, we met with Dan Solers from St. Louis County IT. St. Louis County and all the agencies in northern Minnesota are moving to Tyler Industries, or to Tyler Technologies, which is our new records management system. Some of our networks and firewalls in the city hall here do not meet specifications. So I just found out that actually we're pretty fortunate that Mr. Solar said that Counselor Penning's a better IT person than him, and feels that you would be a great resource to look at options, because one of the options could be upwards of $20,000 to upgrade, and obviously we do not have that budgeted, but there are some cheaper options. So I'm just asking, they want to migrate by July 1st. We do not have it budgeted, but we know there's some cheaper options. So I was hoping, I don't know if the council wants to direct me. My understanding, we do have Rogers Online as our new on-site IT. However, that's going to cost money. CIT can also work on it, but I was wondering what way the council wants to go, if they're comfortable with, if I can have actually Councilor Redpenning work on this project to come up with some cheaper options, because we do not have the budget for what the county's going to. We have other options. We can go through Virginia Police Department or even Duluth Police Department, but we need to have, and you probably know more about it than I do. So just looking for some options, because we do not have the budget for that big of a project. So I will try to look for some funding, but I just as long as the council's okay with just working with Councilor Redpenny on coming up with some options to try to save money.
So based on, anything over $5,000, does that hit the threshold for us going back to the city of Waback and asking for a portion of it for their
Yeah,
services?
certainly, that's something that we can look at. Absolutely. So, but I know there's some other options that we have. It's just with this, the authentication's changed to get to the CGen network. We used to go through St. Louis County, but the software I believe that they're requiring it's top notch, but it's also top price, and they've got the money for it. But there's some cheaper options that we're looking at. So, with our squad cars along with within the office. So
Let's just make sure if it's over that 5,000 that we're going back to Waback to get their share.
yep.
And this goes back to that voicemail that you sent me.
Right.
This is the same thing.
Yeah, I just actually sent it to Todd.
Okay. And yes, I will touch base with SLC IT tomorrow and get a better rundown of what we need. And I will keep you informed.
Anybody else got anything for Ty? How is that Ty condemnation of buildings? What's going on with this?
Lieutenant Tricano will be meeting with the IRRB, and we're looking at 5 buildings, 3 on Main, 3 up the hill. So there's $250,000, I believe, $250,000 or $500,000. So we're going to get on the list and have our plan in place. And the city attorney's got to work on some condemnation things. And we do have an individual in Evelyn that can do the condemnation assessment. So
That must have been mine.
Good to hear this.
we're just trying to secure funding because we don't have that budgeted. So we're trying to get it paid for without any cost from us.
Dang, we'll get a different one.
That's not me. No.
We don't have a different one.
Throw more.
Speaker.
Well, I just wanted
Let's
to
switch.
make sure that the folks know in Gilbert that we have 5 listed properties for condemnation that we're working on, and with help from IRRB to get these down. So, and the neighbor,
2 of them are a result of fires, 2 are the result of, one is a result of large amounts of pigeons issues along with a collapsed roof, and the other 2 are from deceased bodies that's been settled in the canal.
well, a lot of people would drive by these buildings and they say, well, how long are we going to be looking at these places, So I want to just let the folks know that we are working on that. It's no more like the old days. They would put them on a list and they come in and do a bunch of them and then go away and then free. I don't like that no more. All right, who we have next? Matt.
Nothing other than what's on the agenda.
Matt, okay, we're going to bring those items up here as long as you're here, so you can leave if you want then. 5 and 6, these are contracts with you, SEH, correct? So, number 5 and 6, Council, I think one at a time. We've talked about them at the working session.
Old business under G?
Yeah. Correct.
G and H.
Yep.
G and H. One at a time, number G.
I'll move to approve the contract for the I&I reduction phase 2 project.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councilor Skirvik, supported by Councilor Ponton to approve the contract with SEH for the I&I reduction phase 2 project. Any more discussion? And if you had, discussion would be if you could include that other parcel of property on the... Yeah. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 5-0. And number H, we now have number 6, SEH contract for Sherwood Forest sewer and storm water resilience.
I'll make a motion to approve the Sherwood Forest Drive Sewer and Stormwater Resilience Project.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councillor Skirvik, supported by Councillor Ponton to approve that contract. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0. Number 6. All right, Matt, do we have anything else for you for tonight? Council have anything else for Matt? You can be excused then, sir. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I just received an update from Brian. He is on his way.
Okay. All right. Oh, no. The Public Works Director, does Sam wish to speak with the council on anything? He seems here. No, all good. You good? Okay. Campground, Sioux, first responders, Deputy Clerk.
I do have a few things. There is a water pressure issue in Genoa. We had a booster pump that needs to be replaced, and Sam got a price for that. Looks like, Sam, am I right? 5,000? Total parts is $5,500. Parts, yep. So.
I thought we approved that last time.
Nope, that was for the lift station for Rockin' Pines and... What, sorry? Oh, Sparta lift station and the Rockin' Pines
Yeah.
lift station.
This is for water pressure.
Yeah, they've had that water pressure for a while.
Yep, he was getting a price on it. Got a
So that's just the pump, not the labor.
It's just the booster pump, $5,500 for the water pressure in Genoa.
The labor, he gave me a price of about $2,500 to $3,000.
Okay, Sam, can you come forward and to tell us about that? Come on up to the mic, okay? Huh?
Well, yeah, we don't need them.
I want him to the mic. I got
Let's
questions.
just vote on it. Put it on J and vote on it.
I want to know
You gotta
price.
have it.
I want to ask him questions. Tell us what's going on. What's the deal?
Yeah, this is the booster pump for the Genoa area. It serves West French and East French Avenue. They have a low water pressure because of high elevation. So the booster pump is down right around the bike trail area. And it runs 24/7, creating pressure for that area. I think it was about 5 years ago we replaced the motor, and now the pump part is more of the grass bushing and stuff. The motor is also left too, so $5,500 is for the replacement of the motor and bushing, and should be all the parts that we need. And then it can be roughly about $25,000 to $50,000 for the labor for the guy to come up and help us put together.
15,000? 15,000?
No,
About $2,500 to $3,000.
Oh, I thought it
Help us install it.
So we're only under 10,000 bucks though for everything. Okay.
And that's for that Genoa area.
I think the motor, we're going to try to get it as soon as possible. It was about 9 weeks out. Most of the parts are about 4 weeks out. So trying to get it as soon as possible. Been down for about a week and a half or so.
Who would be doing the install?
What's that?
Who would be doing the install?
We would be doing it. The guy I bought the parts from, he has a guy that works with him that does the install. So
So if I heard you correctly, the installation cost would be approximately no more than about $3,000?
Yeah, roughly about 3,000.
Okay, so then we have enough information to make a motion, so based on parts. Just for, for future, for process stuff, I know some of the stuff comes up very quickly, but this is something where we really need to have the numbers on paper before we're voting on something like this. So I just, I think we can make a motion that would say, for the cost of parts plus no more than $3,000 for labor, and we can go ahead and do that. But
He got this information yesterday.
yeah, so it's just one of those things that if we're going to be voting to spending money, that should be written on paper, and we need to see that in advance.
In order to vote on it, we're going to have to put it on J.
Yeah.
In old business.
So I did get
We're gonna have
I
to
did
add it
order
to
the
our
parts
agenda.
Well,
instead of waiting. I did order the parts.
it's under the deputy clerk's business. We can vote
Yeah,
on
we have
it.
to add it to the agenda in order to vote on it.
It's under her business. She's brought it up, so we can vote on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an ideal. I think we have voted under individual reports in the past, so there's precedent for that. Ideally, it should appear as a new business item. So,
And next time when it's the day before, I'll put it on the working agenda and you can move it.
Yeah.
Because I can't, it's not been posted on the agenda out of the thing, so I can't add it to the regular session until, unless it's before
That'll work.
Friday.
yeah,
That'll
so
what you said.
But I feel safe in making the motion to approve the 5,000. What was it? 5,000.
5,500 for the
5,500
parts and up to 3,000.
Parts and up to 3,000 in labor for the installation.
8,500.
You made the motion, I'll second it.
Motion by Councilor Skirvik to approve the $8,500 for the Genoa area substation
Booster
booster.
pump.
Second by Councilor Pontonen. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, anything else, Lynn?
Yes, we approved the wood. It's been ordered, just as an update.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Go something?
Were we going to talk about the forklift blades to get the piles of wood off? Like, don't we need longer?
Oh, yeah, we did talk about it last time, but we didn't, where would we get them, or?
Longer forks.
Yeah. Just so it's safer to pick up the wood pallets, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately that's something you can have a discussion with Sam on to see what we need to do, if there's a purchase that we need to make to
Okay.
get that done.
Okay,
So,
and I can put it on the next agenda.
yep.
Or anything else for Deputy Clerk? All right, we'll move back to Brian's here now. Brian, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry I was late.
All right, you have anything to report? Because I know the council has some questions for you.
I'm happy to field questions, and I trust the questions will cover the couple small reports that I have. Fire away.
Okay, I'm going to start off. First of all, I got a couple easy ones for you here. I'm getting calls and inquiries about the Castiglione property. What do we need to do as a council with that?
So everything that the city needs to do for that property has been completed. There was a little bit of confusion up front. So what the process is, or what the inquiry is, there was a parcel split that was going to take place in town. So during those parcel splits, the onus is on the property owner to bring to the city what we need. Essentially what the city does is put a notation or some phrasing onto a deed that's then reported to the city. It took a little bit of time to get the legal descriptions, which have to be developed by an appraiser, or not an appraiser, I'm sorry, by a
Surveyor.
That has been accomplished. The deed has been created. The deed has the language from the city. All the city needs to do is put a signature, the clerk's signature, or the mayor's signature onto that document indicating that we are aware of the split and we have no objection to it. That deed can then be reported with the county, which creates the official split and allows them to move forward with the county to create the second parcel.
So the council can approve something?
It's already been approved.
It's already approved?
Yep.
Oh,
So
wow.
everything has been done. It's just a matter of getting the signature onto the document and having it reported.
Well,
So they paid for the surveying then?
Correct, and truly, they would pay for the recording as well. Basically, what we would do is sign the deed and give it back.
Okay.
I don't remember, must have been missing when it was approved. I don't remember it.
It was,
It was approved some time ago.
Like a year ago?
It may be that.
Okay, well, before, okay. All right. So let's get that moving, so I don't,
And here, my office has prepared the language and we put it onto the transfer instrument onto the deed. So I'll get another copy of it, get it over to the city, and we can get signatures on it or get it back in hand.
oh, yeah, okay.
it was sent to Mike.
All right, very good. Let's get that as soon as we can, all right? And then the cease and the cease building up above, what's going on that?
I'll have to follow up. I haven't touched that in a bit. We did send a cease and desist letter, and if their construction continues, we'll seek an injunction from the court.
Okay. Okay, I have no further questions. Council, which one's next? Who's next? Who wants? Councilor Skrbic.
I have two written down here. One, Lynn indicated that you would have the best update on the Ridge-In paperwork.
So the Bridge-In, there's some requirements that the state has for us before they acquire the property from us. The one that's causing the challenge is with that Bridge-In property, there's what's called severed mineral rights. And the state is asking that we eliminate that essentially restriction or that issue with the title that severs the mineral rights. So in title to real estate, there's a number of different rights or interests that you can have. One is to the subsurface minerals, and it's not uncommon in northern Minnesota that owners long ago, even though they sell the surface rights to the property, they reserve unto themselves the mineral rights just in case the mines ever come for ore there, they can collect their royalties. Those are very difficult things to reacquire once they're severed. Essentially, we would have to convince the mineral owners, and this is a more challenging group because it's not one of the large conglomerate holders like RGTS or Glacier and Ford and Hidden. It's individual family health. So I am providing the recent correspondence from the state. I'll reach back out and see if we can find exceptions to what they're asking us to do because to reacquire the severed mineral interest is individual.
Is it the Evelyn fee owners?
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
It seemed to me it was like a group of three private trusts.
And then the other one that I had written down here was the update to the AT&T lease.
So we did have some conversations with them. We asked that they increase their monthly spend. When we asked that they increase their monthly spend with the city, they came back and essentially told us, well, they didn't really even need permission from us, and they declined that increase. So we can reach back out to them, but as of the last communication, they indicated that they're happy to move forward with their project. They don't need a consent from the city any longer. And I'm looking through the documentation, previous documentation on essentially definition of what they're trying to say is they have the same number of antenna arrays and the same amount of equipment. It's just different types of the same amount of equipment. So because the project that they're undertaking is equivalent in burden on the water tower, they don't need a city's consent. That being said, we do have an increase in the amount that we'll be receiving. We get a 6% bump starting in 2027. And what we had asked is we had requested to bring us up to equal footing with other communities, but they increased an additional $300 a month and then keep that 6% increase to 27. And that will be after the
Did you check into the other towns, what they're charging for their antenna? Like Chisholm and Virginia?
Yep.
In Midway, yeah, right. Yeah. And are they well above us?
About $300
more.
Yeah, it's the best price.
When's the next time period for us to update that contract or renegotiate that contract?
I believe it ends at the end of
I think so.
So there's not a lot of time left on it.
Okay. Let's put a notation on that one.
Yeah, let's try to get as much as the rest of the towns are getting at least. You know, only fair. In 27, right?
Right.
Yeah. Is there time in 27, halfway through, the end of 27? Or?
I don't know the exact date. I thought that it was early.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, these other communities might have updated their contract with them, as, you know, in the recent years, too, so.
I know Chisholm was the most recent that I'm aware of updating, and they added some additional equipment, and Chisholm was able to get the price up to about $1,300 per month. The additional equipment was a small generator building, which I understand we have with our agents as well. So we'd be able to put it there.
Okay. Anybody else? Any questions for Brian?
I have a question. Iowa is asking about the
Sale of fire equipment.
No, I apologize. I'll get that. Because I have, you got me the equipment list, so I'll fit it in the phone.
Okay. Well, then we'll move on to old business. Check register, approval number A under A, old business check register from February 26th to March 2nd and March 6th to March 9th. Everybody okay with those? If so, we can move to approve them.
I'll move to approve the check registers.
I'll second that.
Moved by Councilor Skirvik, supported by Councilor Redepinning to approve these registers. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Timesheets for employees, any conversation, discussion on that? Need approval or something? Made a motion or something? Or talk about it, or what's the deal?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I bring one thing up real quick? Were we going to talk about the electronic?
ADP.
Yes. Do you want to bring that up at a different time?
I can give you an update on it right now.
Yeah.
I reached out to Abdo to have them reach out to ADP to turn on mobile timekeeping. And I did talk to Tara at Abdo today and asked her for an update, and I don't have one back yet. But there's a process in it to go through, so the first step is to getting it turned on so that I can see what it is we need and where things are.
Yep.
So it's moving along. It's just a process to try to get it into place. So I can give you an update each time if you want.
Will they be able to assist in kind of determining the initial categories based on past timesheets that they've already?
Yes, her and I had a conversation, and she was a little bit confused about our conversation about that. And I explained to her it's that if we have somebody working in another department, we want to be able to charge that to the right GL account. And she was like, okay. So that cleared up things for her, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I heard motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Ryan? Oh, no.
I'll second that.
Moved by second by Councilor Redepinning. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Can you tell me who made that motion?
Paul?
I did.
All right, North Shore Development Contract. I see Jason is here.
No, but I included it.
Yeah, it's in the package. I read it. I'm sure everybody did over the weekend. I'm okay with the contract. Not familiar. I understand that Jason is just kind of like a go-between the council and the developer that we send him on with, but he doesn't do any of the surveying, which we wouldn't even be doing. We'd have to have our engineer do, and we don't do legal work. We'd have to have our attorney do. So I think that we understand that. So, Jason, could you come up to the podium and tell us what exactly?
Jason's not here.
Oh, that's not Jason? Oh, I thought that was Jason.
That's Jonathan.
Huh?
Jonathan
Hey, Jonathan.
from BP Builders
Oh.
Community Center. He could come
Well,
up.
it feels like Jason, though. Oh. All right, but anyway, so otherwise, let's get this Jason and North Shore on board so we can talk with them and so that he can be the go-between. We got one developer for sure that offered us $300,000 and $50,000 and maybe coming back with some proposals on some zoning that we might have to be doing up at the school. We got to do some surveying, get some legal language of this parcel down at Lake Orbegon for us that we don't have. I don't think we have that. Do we have that?
Is this the bulk end?
No, this is by the recycling on Orbegon, this side. So see, we got it. I don't know, did he have a parcel quote on that $300,000 offer? You know, that's what I mean. That's a lot of stuff we need to do, and we need Jason on board for that.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I would hope, otherwise I'm going to step off the chair and I'm going to make a motion to approve a contract with North Shore as they propose here.
The mayor stepped off the chair. Is there a second to the mayor's motion to approve the contract with North Shore Development?
I'll go ahead and second it so that we can have a discussion.
Been moved and seconded with discussion. Go ahead.
So my question on the compensation portion, so it says total contract not to exceed $7,500. I guess I'm not seeing it in here. We have multiple different developers that are going to be coming at us. Is this per developer? Is this per project? Or is this just a yearly contract for those services? Because it's not, I don't know if somebody else can see in this letter where that is called out.
In his explanation at the last one, he said the $7,500 is to negotiate with any contractor.
That's my understanding as well.
Right, so if we have three different developers coming at us.
He will negotiate with them up to that amount.
Up to that amount.
But if it goes over that, obviously, even if it was one developer, if he went over the amount of time he had to spend with them, he would charge you more.
Over $7,500, you come back, you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did also mention that most of the other cities that he works with never get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah, so Paul, I think he charges $150 per hour, and then it can never go above.
Okay, got it.
$10.
Okay, so that was it was per hour first, and then total not to exceed it. Okay, and then I did see the call out here that with the assistant in the negotiating the price for public sales, develop agreements, etc., that they do not provide legal advice, so we would still need to enlist our attorney for those services. I guess the other question is, because we're looking at a number of different, and this doesn't have to be tied to this, but we're looking at a number of different potential land sales. At some point, do we feel it might be good to also get a recommendation from somebody with a real estate license to make sure that we're looking at the price appropriately? Because he doesn't necessarily have the expertise in that, and no offense to our city attorney, but that's not what our city attorney does either. And I want to make sure that if we're going after, if we're going to be selling any parcels, that we're going to be getting the maximum amount of revenue for the city to achieve that. So I don't know what others think about that.
Well, I think we have to agree that we're going to sell the properties before we hire him to take care of everything. And I don't think we've had that agreement yet for that $300,000 sale. That's never been discussed,
I don't think that this is to say that we will or won't sell anything. This is to say that this is a good idea or a bad idea, or this is just advice on what he sees that would be good for the city of Gilbert. If he doesn't think senior housing would be good, he's going to tell you that that's not what you should sell it for, the purpose of it. Those were the kinds of things. He has a lot of analysis behind all of these types of things from other cities, and that's part of what his role is to help us or guide us to make a decision about a property.
I know with the discussion here before, that 300,000, he wasn't really for that. So, that's what I'm saying. We have to decide if we're going to do it before we even employ him.
I agree in part with what you're saying, but I see part of what we're paying him to do is, so that 300,000 is mythical. It's a unicorn. It's in the sky. I have not seen any piece of paper that documents what they're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what his job is to work with the developer to say, okay, do you need 100 acres or do you need 80 acres? That's going to change the price. And are they the appropriate acres? Mm-hmm. Right? That's what we're paying him $150 an hour to do. And I think having this expertise is going to serve us well, because it's going to help us have the best information, so that when the developer does actually have something on paper, that we have numbers that we can trust, that we have boundary lines that make sense, that we can look at everything around it to see if it's going to be a good or bad deal for us. I'm happy to pay this amount to help us gather that knowledge, because we don't have the time to do it.
Right, to not exceed, what was the
7,500.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, the end, he's going to look at, if we do sell to a developer, he's not going to let like some weird style home be placed. He's going to kind of monitor everything. So
he'll come to us. He'll come to us and
ask us. He'll come to us with the best practices, or if he sees something that in 5 to 10 years it might not look so well.
And the discussions we've had with him here, I'm all for the guy, because he knows what he's talking about, and he's realistic about what can happen in this town.
Yeah. Well, and I also think that, he brought up a really good point with respect to the housing authority. Like, as we're developing properties, we can work into the agreements with developers that we have tax increment financing or other funding mechanisms to help pay for the areas where we're going to potentially have shortfalls, and we can pre-negotiate those into any deals, so that we're balancing things out, so that we don't end up short in a place that we need funding in.
Any more discussion? The mayor stepped off the chair and made a motion to approve the contract with North Shore Development. It's been seconded by Councillor Skirbeck. No more discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Chair goes back to the mayor.
Thank you. And on another note, I hope to the council, we move quickly, smoothly on this thing, and diligently. I don't want to have a situation happen like in 1980, and the council sat at that time, and Fortune Bay said goodbye. We could have had Fortune Bay here in Gilbert, but because of delay, yap, they wanted an answer and could not get it, and they left. And 45 years later, or something like that, we missed out on a good deal here. We don't need to delay this thing. We need to get moving. We get a realtor. We get North Shore. We get on this thing, and we start working on this thing as fast as the developer wants, not how fast we want. Or else they're gone, and I don't want to see that happen. Great opportunity for 200-300 units of housing here and more. PSN credit card fees. What's going on with that, Deputy Clerk? or somebody.
Yep. There's some information in your packet about what the law requires for notice and how we can proceed with charging fees. I know we talked about adding a credit card fee for using, for our customers that use them, because we're paying roughly about $12,000 a year in fees. And instead of us absorbing those costs, we want to pass those on to the customers. They can still pay with cash or a check. The stipulation is that if they come into the office to pay and they're going to use a card, we have to tell them before what the fee is, based on this information that I've included.
Can we add that line onto their bill? That here's what it would be with this, and here's what it would be without that. Just like my tab at a restaurant, I get either
Yep.
or.
Yep, I understand exactly what you mean.
Yep.
I'm not sure how our software works in order to add that line. I guess we can. I would imagine that we can, but I would have to check on that to be sure. But when they come in here, it is required that we tell them that there will be a fee to use that card so that they have an option to use something else.
Well, exactly, and I think if we could add that to the bill in the mail, and then they know.
Yep.
Either this or that.
Well, and thanks to Hannah's good work on this, so telling them in person can be either verbally
Or have a sign.
or a sign posted. So as long as we have that at any place where the transaction is physically taken care of, we can, so we don't necessarily have to repeat that every transaction.
No, you're correct.
So I think we're fine with that. It's pretty straightforward that, I mean, we can put it in the fee schedule on our website that, you know, this is another fee. Over the telephone, we don't really do a lot of ones over the phone, do we?
We have people that call and want to do it over the phone, and Hannah tells them that we can't. I don't know why we can't, but I think at this point we should be able to. The only thing that concerns me on here is if you look on the page that's got all the black highlights, it says close to the bottom, debit cards. Surcharges are generally prohibited on debit cards in Minnesota. But PSN doesn't distinguish between whether it's a credit or a debit card when they charge us the fee.
Right. And if you go to virtually any merchant,
It's the same
you
thing.
go to the mall, you go to McDonald's, you go
Yep.
to whatever, they don't make distinctions between a credit and debit card.
Right, and it says generally prohibited.
Correct.
So, but I just wanted to call that out.
Refresh us on, I think we said that we're paying on average a 1.9%.
On average, yep, about 1.9.
Okay. And so this information says that we can go up to a 5% convenience fee. That seems to me like that's probably a little bit high.
Yeah.
Most other places, whether it's the DMV or whatever, it's generally a 3% fee, I think is what I've seen.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
2.25, I believe, last time I bought my
Yep.
license.
That seems within reasonable. I mean,
3% is reasonable.
Okay. So then the other question would be, in terms of implementing this, how much time does the staff need to get this done?
I'll have to check with Hannah because she does all of the utility stuff. So I don't know for sure how that would have to get incorporated into Cassell.
Okay, so, but I mean, would it be reasonable if we set a date that starting June 1st?
Yes.
We would be starting to charge a 3% convenience fee for credit and debit cards?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe that's
Then I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that effective June 1st, we assess a 3% credit and debit card fee. We provide notice in utility bills as soon as possible of that change.
Yep.
And specifically note that people can avoid the fee if they pay cash or check in the office.
They can mail it in, they can put it in the drop box.
Yep.
Was there one other fee that I wasn't familiar with? But there was three. There was a debit, a credit card, and one
ACH.
other.
ACH.
But there's no.
That's just having them move the money from your account to the, it's the same thing as using your debit card or your credit card. They just don't take it from,
What do we fee it for that?
Yes, it's if you pay it online. Any way that you pay online, if it's a debit card, a credit card, or a check online,
Yes.
then there's a fee.
So that's like a check online.
So in
Yep,
order to
it's the same.
process an ACH.
So then we charge them 3% for that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So in order to process an ACH, you need to have a check routing number
Okay, I got
in the
it.
transaction. So let me amend that to include the ACH payment as well. And so if somebody else would second that.
All right,
I'll second that.
motion by Councillor Skirvik, supported by Councillor Ponton to, starting what, July 1st it was?
June 1st.
June 1st.
Started assessing a 3% fee on debit cards or credit cards or
ACH.
ACH. And we're going to be looking into hopefully putting that on the bill somehow as well.
I'll give you an update next time.
And
At the next meeting.
then give us some awareness to all the people affected by this, okay? By that time?
Yep.
Any more discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Tax on pull tabs, what's that?
That's Paul.
So that actually, thank you, Brian, for being here. I think we've had some conversation on the charitable gambling issue, and I have kind of an understanding of what we need to do. Basically, that we need to craft an ordinance that would essentially say to anyone operating charitable gambling funds that a portion of those funds be directed to the city's control, that we can then send out to local Gilbert-based charities. And so in effect, that keeps that money, the charitable gambling money, in the community and under the council's control.
Mayor Finley. Councilor Skirvik is absolutely correct. So by state law, the city has the ability to put an ordinance in place that restricts or collects to the city up to 10% of the charitable gambling revenue that's created within the city limits. That would then become a charitable gambling account that the city could hold. It still is a restricted fund, meaning that the city can only expend those dollars for charitable purposes as defined by charitable gambling, or for emergency response equipment. So you can keep police equipment, fire equipment, EMS equipment. You just can't use those funds for pensions or auxiliary fund dollars or payment of wages for those services. But it also gives the city a permissible avenue to give donations to, 501c3 organizations, the local schools when they do all-night grad parties or sports booster clubs. Traditionally, those things are not public expenditure. They're not permitted as public expenditures, but it would give a small bank of money, and I put an asterisk by small bank of money, depending on how much gambling goes on, charitable gambling goes on in town, but it gives the city the ability to redistribute. A lot of times, cities will receive some pushback when they put such an ordinance in place saying, well, why do you only take money away from these organizations? Charitable gambling laws require that all that money has to be given away to charitable purposes in any event, so that the only difference is not taking away from charitable purposes, it's just saying that the city can select some of those charitable purposes as opposed to having another organization.
And so a follow-up question. So an organization like the Gilbert 3rd of July Committee, which I believe is a 501c3, we would be able to make a decision to allocate to them. Girl Scouts, if they need to use the community center for distribution, we can pay for the community center fees. It's just another way of us being able to do this in a legal way.
But we're going to, you can make this ordinance up for us?
I basically got it completed, so I'll send it in for approval when the upcoming agenda.
And we need a motion on that, Tom?
I think at this point it's just instruction. I would be happy to be the person to author it, to put it into the formal record.
When it gets here.
When it gets here, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any more discussion on that? All right, move on. Elder's Financial Management Plan needed for the PFA funding. Deputy Clerk?
And we did have a conversation, Rudy and Bob and I, with Todd and Matt and Ally about, that was from our last meeting, that they wanted to discuss what that looked like and if we could save some money.
I thought I read in the minutes of the meeting that it was passed last meeting. As I read in the minutes.
It was passed last meeting, but we offered to have a discussion with them to see if we could lower the rates of the yearly payments to quarterly or semi-annually. That was the only
But
discussion.
it was already passed.
Yes.
Last meeting, it was passed already.
Yes.
All
To do them.
Okay,
In the minutes, I read that.
okay.
But the outcome of that meeting, was there any way to save on the cost at all, or?
They're going to be looking at it to change our yearly payment maybe to a semi-annually payment, something like that, to save us a lot of money instead of paying.
Sure, so that we.
Instead of paying $100,000 once a year, we might
So it's
be
like
paying.
making the 13th mortgage payment, right?
Yeah.
So if we increase the payment frequency, we can bring down the interest.
Because our interest rate is very high and we're paying a lot of money on interest.
So there's nothing more to do on that.
Well, didn't we have to approve it on Tuesday night? Didn't we, conversation, we were going to give them permission to start on it, but we had to approve it.
That's what
for
I
them to
thought,
move
but
forward.
Carl's saying it was approved.
Wasn't that the discussion, Rudy? We had to prove it tonight to have them officially move forward.
It was in the minutes of the meeting, I read it.
That's what I recall.
I think it was that we passed it, but we
wanted to talk to them.
And that's what we had the meeting for, on terms.
And then I think if we just make a motion to approve it, there's no harm done. To make sure we're covered.
Go ahead.
We'll make the motion to approve the Elders contract.
I'll second it.
Motion by Councillor Ponton, supported by Councillor Pertocek to approve the Elders Financial Management Plan needed for the PFA funding. Any more discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. All right, number I. Number 3, the commercial garbage proposal.
We had a question for Brian. We had a question for Brian.
Yeah, so Brian, this was a question that I had in regard to the commercial garbage. So the total was like $40,000 or something like that. If we've got one bid right now. They are the incumbent provider for our residential, and we've been working with them for a number of years. We had a question from another provider, essentially to give them a bunch of information that is a pretty manual process. So the question is, what is our obligation in this? It's under a $50,000 contract, and I didn't know whether, because it's a franchise agreement that we're essentially giving, or do we need to do the second bid on this? So just what's your thought and what's your...
The question becomes, and Mayor, if I may, the initial contracting question becomes, did we put this out as essentially a request for proposal, or did we put it out for bids, or did companies just basically send in an interest based on something they observed at the company? So the initial question is, how was it advertised? Because that can have some effect on what our obligations may be to anybody who's interested.
I don't have the answer to that.
We put it out for bids, didn't we? Put it out for...
If I'm not mistaken, this was put out last year, and it was already approved, but the clerk at the time didn't want to push forward with it, but we had approved him already to do this.
Yeah, because we did approve to have it for bids, I know.
I do know that when we put it out the first time, it did appear in the newspaper, and we did collect bids, and the second provider is the one, so basically we're refreshing that existing bid, because that was, we didn't have the most up to date, and so we had one provider that came to us with information, and the second provider is asking us for a bunch of additional data now.
Traditionally, the way that you go out for a service like that would be on a request for proposal or bid, we give a very specific, itemized detail about what they're to do, whereas a request for proposal would basically say, hey, we have this task that needs to be accomplished, tell us how you would accomplish it. secondary way to look at it is if the information that they're looking for is public data, it could be like a data request and say, well, we're required to respond a certain way to data request.
Given the nature of what you guys just said, I don't know that would be considered to be in the realm of public data.
If it's not public data, you can't give it out in any event.
Right. I mean, or am I wrong on that?
I don't know.
And then the secondary concept for data practices is the city's not required to create data on the request. So if it's not the type of data that we normally contain, if we have to go out and do extra work to create it, we're not required to do that. I mean, the Data Practices Act essentially means that we're required to provide existing data to individuals who request it. The Data Practices Act does not say we have to answer everybody's question. We don't have to create data to suit a request. We have to provide data that exists.
And so what the first vendor did, they actually, there's a list of who the provider or who the customers are. They actually went through town and did the assessment on their own. So by basically physically going around to each location. So we did not provide that data, and so that type of information to me says that that's not public data, and we don't have an obligation to provide that to a vendor to complete a bid. If they want to do that survey, they certainly can.
If we maintain the list in town, we may have to provide public aspects of it, not necessarily private identifiers and things like that.
This is all private identifiers.
Well, it's commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we do that list.
Yeah.
Whether or not we should share it or not is another question, right?
We wouldn't ever share a customer list.
Well, could you forward me the list, and as a data compliance official, I'll take a look at it and determine whether it's data or public data.
Do you want to give them the... Because actually, wasn't it in our packet?
Yep.
I think that was the list from first vendor, but I mean, it's not ours.
Well, if it's in a packet, that just became public data.
Right.
It's a working session.
Yeah.
So we can hand them that information.
The list, but not any of the other stuff. He requested that we not.
Yeah, don't share the cost, no.
Right.
Right, because that would give them an unfair advantage.
Right.
Yep. So, but it is published in a packet, so that is now public information. So, I think we can go through that list and redact the costs off of there. That would give them the opportunity.
It's in the working.
It was in the working packet.
Oh, in the work there.
Yep. So that is subject to data practice requests.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I think that's going to be the solution then for us. So then we can move this item, we can give them until, what's our next meeting?
24th.
24th. So we can give them until the 24th, hopefully our packets are delivered on the 20th.
Before that, right.
So if we can get information from them by the 19th based off of that list, redact the prices and then the other sensitive information off there, then we should be able to act on this at our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That was very helpful.
So there's no action we can take tonight, Brian, correct? All right. Moving on to new business, Malkovich building permit and variance. Seems like a pretty confusing situation there.
Mayor, do we need to talk about the pump parts? Old business?
Pump parts, we did that already.
Genova project?
We did that.
Okay, that's not that.
Remember when Sam was here?
Yeah, I didn't know if I had to do that in this meeting.
Did you have that electronically for that garbage?
We
I'm sorry?
okayed it for
Did you have that electronically for him for the garbage?
Yep. Okay.
Or
Yeah.
did you just print it
Making sure.
electronically?
I can send it to him electronically anyway.
You can get it to him electronically?
I can send it to him that way, yeah. I'll scan it and send it to him.
I can give him a copy of it.
Okay, my question is, Rudy, what do you think? What's going on with this building permit here? This is really complex here.
Well, it's kind of here a little bit goofy, but from what I know, I have bigger drawings
Is this an old permit, by the way, or a new renewal?
Nope, this is a new permit. He's asking to build a stable. He's calling it a stable. I asked if there would be animals in it. He said no. It looks
Except the
like
carousel horse.
Number one, a variance needs a public hearing.
Right, so he did also apply for a variance. The height is approximately 30 feet, so that's why he would need a variance. It looks like it is a large area that he'll put a pickleball court in and some storage for his vehicles and a loft. That's pretty basic. That's pretty much all I know about it. I let them know they would need a variance, and the blue paper that you have attached was all that they sent back. They really didn't fill out anything other than a couple things on it. I'm not sure, I mean, I know that we have to do a public hearing, but I didn't know if you need to approve the building permit first or how you do that.
You need a
To go
variance.
forward with the variance.
Variance, you're talking about 30 foot, and if it's not occupying residence, that goes way over the 15 feet. So that, and we've already had other people take their, we got the cease thing going on, in the same situation. So we're definitely cannot allow 30 foot if it's not occupying people. If it's just occupying space or material, our ordinance says no way.
Go ahead, Brian.
So a couple of things that I see here. So if he's asking for a variance, then I think we are obligated to provide him a variance hearing, right? I think like if he's asking for a hearing, we have to provide it. So there's that piece. In order to provide a hearing, from my understanding, any property that touches this individual's property must be notified of that hearing in advance by a certain time period. And I believe that's like 2 weeks or something like that. So that is what it is. In terms of the height restrictions, some ideas. I know exactly where this is. He's surrounded by trees. There's really no way that anybody from around it is going to see that. We can put a conditional use restriction on here saying that, foliage coverage from around 50 feet around the building must be present in order to maintain this building. I don't like the fact that it's labeled as a stable. If it's going to be labeled as a stable, I think we need to explicitly call out that it cannot be used for livestock purposes if that's not the intention. I'm not concerned about what he is going to be doing with it. I am concerned about what the property owners 25, 30 years from now are going to be doing with it. And so if it's labeled as a stable, it could be listed as a stable in a real estate listing. So I want to make sure that we protect against that. Other than that, he needs, if he's asking for a variance, we need to provide him that hearing. Whether or not we give him that variance, that's yet to be determined.
Yeah, we have to set up a hearing, a variance hearing.
Were you going to say something?
What's that?
Brian was going to say something, but...
No, Mayor, the one thing I was going to add is just a couple of concept things. Taking action on a variance, application of variance request tonight would be difficult. I agree that the hearing is going to be a necessary component of it because in order to grant the variance, there's a specific findings that the council has to make. And so we'll need additional information about the request and the hardship that brings the request.
So we need a date. What do we want to do to variance?
What's required by law, 2 weeks notice?
This stable thing bothers me because if you look at it, it looks just like a stable. I mean, is he going to come back later and say, well, you approved a stable, so now I'm going to add the animals to it? Yeah, definitely that has to be taken out and just storage, whatever, mechanical storage building or whatever. That stable has to come off.
Well, that's where we document it, that we say that, that's a condition of use, is that it cannot be used for livestock, period. Because that violates a couple of our ordinances.
What are they trying to...
Right.
Is that, are you trying to be funny or what, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So, Lynn, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Let's say the first meeting in April.
The other zoning concept that we should keep in mind is if we receive an application and the city takes no action on it within 60 days, it's being granted. We can't extend that an additional 60 days by just providing notice that we're continuing to consider the question and indicating that it's located to extend. So we just want to keep an eye on that timeline to make sure we don't get out to that 60 days where there's something inadvertently going to be developed.
Well, this has been on our agenda a couple meetings, one meeting prior to this already.
We'll send a letter.
Yeah. Is it from the application date that it starts?
From the date that the city received it.
Okay.
We didn't receive the variance until this week, right?
Yeah, I was checking if there was a date on it.
But he came in last week, though, Thursday or Friday.
Yep, he came in last week.
So that's when we received the application for the variance.
Okay. So again, because I know people are kind of learning about this, so I know we have a stamp that's got a date on it for receipt.
Yes, we will.
So we need.
Yeah, I actually think it's on the original copy.
Okay, so that's information that the council needs to see at meetings. We need to see that when it was received date.
Well,
Whose picture is this? Is this from this?
That's from the guy.
That was from them because I had asked if there
Stable.
would be any animals in there, any livestock or anything, and I let them know about our ordinance. So they sent that back and said that that would be the only animal stored in that building.
well, we'll get that
Talking about
letter
this
out right
picture.
away. I mean, we gotta let them know that we're gonna have set a date for a variance hearing, okay?
Yep.
And then you pick that date, go ahead, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
If you can make it, I don't think we can make it by the 24th anymore.
No.
It'll have to be the first,
So our first council meeting is the 14th of April. So
well, we can have a hearing.
Does it have to be outside a council meeting, or should it a special hearing, a public
Have it at
hearing?
during the working session.
Okay.
We would treat it just as a public hearing.
Yeah. We'll have a working session and a hearing in the same hour, okay?
Yep. I hear, yep.
Two different things though.
Yep, I got it. Not on the same thing, no.
Not
Two
on the
separate.
working session, but two different
Yep.
things, okay?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Well, we don't need a motion to do that right now though? To set that, or direct that? No? We're okay with that, council? All right.
Okay.
Okay, we skipped the Scott Hakinen thing, all right. We have a Water and Light Board applicant, Frank Molich, to the Water and Light Board. I'm okay to approve his appointment. I'll step up this year and make a...
I can make the motion.
You can make it? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll make the motion to approve Frank Malich to the Gilbert Water and Light Commission.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councilor Vrtajnik, supported by Councilor Ponton to appoint Frank Molich to Water and Light Board. Any more discussion?
For clarification, that is a 3-year term, so that would be effective immediately, ending in 2029.
Yes.
All right. No other applicants? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
In that same vein, I would like to bring up that while we do have a clause in the charter that allows people to continue serving, I'm trying to find what the reference is on here. So the other two members of the Water and Light Board are serving under 3.1.20 because we did not reappoint. I would like to take the opportunity to reappoint both of those individuals to continue on their 3-year term. So that would bring Bruce Mattson up to 2028 and Leo Skirbeck up to 2027.
Want to make a motion? Is that your motion?
That was my motion.
Did they actually tell you that they're interested in continuing?
I have confirmed that both are interested.
All right, then I'll I'll second that motion.
Moved by Councillor Skirvik, supported by Councillor Condon to approve the appointments of, continue appointments of Mr. Bruce Matson and Leo Skirvik to continue on the Water and Light Board. Any more discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. 8E, Cook Slurry MPCA egg application. We've discussed that. Should be ready to go. I'll step off the chair and make a motion to approve the Cook Slurry grant application to the MPCA.
I'll second.
By the city.
The mayor stepped off the chair and made a motion for the Cook Slurry. Is there a second?
I second.
Councillor Skirvik, a second. Is there discussion? Is there discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0 unanimously. Mayor assumes the chair.
Thank you. All right. Number F, working
Summer help.
summer help. Okay, what's the council wish to do? I'm okay with getting 3. I'm okay with we got some extra money because of different things that happened here. So we're good to go. I mean, how many is it? 120 days? Not even that. That they pull in, and I'm okay with getting 3. And even if we want to take up later the salary, I might even do that to up that salary from 15 to 20 at some point. That's what I'm willing to do. I don't know about anybody else.
I believe the other cities around here are offering 16. I wouldn't go above that.
Yeah. I can see updating it to 16, but 20 is a huge step, especially when we're dealing with a number of other things that are related to that, so.
Let's go out for advertising for 3 anyway, okay? At 16. I got no support for 20, so let's go for 16 then.
Is that the motion?
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Mayor stepped off the chair and made a motion to hire 3 part-time summer employees at a salary of $16 an hour. Councillor Skirvik has seconded the motion. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The mayor resumes the chair.
Thank you. Okay, 8G, dates for spring cleanup. We got any dates?
When do we normally do it?
I tried to pull it up and see what
End of May?
Of May.
Do you want us to,
Okay.
next meeting?
Do you want us to just address it the next meeting?
Okay, we'll skip it for now. All right. Any miscellaneous items? I think we caught up.
We have... Is this the same?
We did
I did that.
That's for the variance.
That's the variance.
For the variance.
Is that the variance one? I thought that was is that the gambling thing?
Nope. That's the variance.
Variance of,
Tom Malkovich?
as we just talked about that one. We're going to have the variance first. We just went through that one. Setting of the variance.
Yep.
Hearing.
Door's locked. Got it.
All right, any other miscellaneous items? If not, we need to go into closed session to discuss ASME negotiations, personnel, and any other topics that council deems necessary under closed parameters. So somebody want to move to recess this meeting?
I'll make a motion to recess so that we can go into a closed session.
Motion by Councilor Skirvik.
Second.
Second by Councilor Redepinning to recess this meeting at 7:50 and move into closed session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries. 7:50. We'll go to... Let the record show Councilor Pontiac, Councilor Skirvik.
Want to turn your mic on?
Councilor Redepinning and Councilor Vertochnik are still present, and Deputy Clerk is Lynn Laurie is still present, and City Attorney Brian Lindsay is present. All right. We closed our closed session for discussion of ASME negotiations, and a result of that meeting, I would like to entertain a motion by the council to approve what's on the table of the ASME agreement that's left over.
I'll make the motion to approve the offer on the table and instruct the city attorney to forward that information to the bargaining unit.
Motion by Councilor Skirvik. Do I hear support?
I'll second.
Support by Councilor Redepinning to approve the ASME contract that's on the table.
Oh, was it right?
Yep.
I'm sorry. I thought I said...
Yeah, well, they both said, I called him up. To approve the ASME proposal that's on the table. It's approved by the council. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Okay, we can move to adjourn, council.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilor Vertochnik, supported by Councilor Skirvik to adjourn at 9:57. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. And you can take over. We approved that last proposal you guys gave us, so now it's up to you guys. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. 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 Good night. Sorry for so long.
You got to sign the...
Oh.